Yo, what's up, everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and I have some pretty exciting news for you all today. For those of you that are fans of Elon Musk, SpaceX, Tesla, and things along those lines. And for the main topic of this video, we're going to be discussing something called Starlink, and I'll be explaining it for those of you that aren't familiar with it. And by the way, if you do enjoy these videos as well, aside from the portfolio update videos, I'd really appreciate you smashing that like button, dropping a like on the video. It really does help me out. Plus, I love talking about anything Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX. I'm that type of person that really enjoys watching how Elon Musk revolutionizes the industry, along with, of course, his company and team and all of the workers that help implement all of that. So with that, today, Wednesday, April 22nd, was Earth Day, and coincidentally today as well, SpaceX decided to launch 60 Starlink satellites into orbit around the Earth. And if you aren't familiar with Starlink, I will say it is not currently available as a stock, and SpaceX isn't as well. And just to prove that to you, if you type in Starlink, it's not there. If you type in SpaceX, it's not there. But Starlink is one of those stocks that if it were to IPO, it would be my fifth holding for sure. As you all can see from my portfolio here, I do not buy a wide variety of stocks. I don't really have a ton of diversification in terms of like many stocks, but I do have it diversified in VOO. That's sort of like my main diversification there, and then everything else is really just for growth long term. But if Starlink were to IPO, which if you don't know what that means, that's initial public offering. It basically means it makes it available for everyone to invest in, so it would be available on brokers such as Robinhood and all of those places. So it basically means that it would be public for you to invest in, which it is currently not. But if it were to IPO, it would be one of those stocks that I would buy probably immediately and put a lot of money into, because I think it has so much potential for the future. In my personal opinion, I think Starlink is almost just as revolutionary as Tesla is in the automotive industry. The goal of Starlink is to basically launch satellites into orbit around the Earth in sort of like a constellation formation, to where they're apart from each other and they provide access at different parts of the world. The main goal of Starlink is to provide broadband internet that is at least 1 gigabit speed per second to many areas across the world that do not have internet access, or simply just rural areas that don't have many options, that are monopolized by all of these local internet companies. And one of the huge reasons why I believe in Starlink so much and would love to invest in it is basically because I'm one of those people that Starlink would greatly benefit, because I live in a very rural area and I sort of have to deal with all of these internet companies, and there's not even really a lot out there. I have two choices where I live, and one is like less than 5 megabits per second download and less than 1 megabit per second upload, while the other one does have fiber, but they charge $300 a month for anything over 5 megabits per second upload speed. And of course, they say 1 gigabit per second fiber for download speed, but you only get like 500 megabits. And then of course, with the upload as well, you don't get exactly what they claim. So it is super monopolized where I live. You either get basically terrible internet, or you get one that is very monopolized, to where you can't even get a good upload speed unless you're paying an extreme amount that is almost unheard of. I know that I've never heard of any other internet service charging $300 a month just for 50 megabits upload speed. And they really monopolize it because they don't offer any alternates to that 5 megabits upload, which is like $60 per month. That's the basic cheap plan. And then the only other way that the upload speed can be changed is if you purchase the 50 megabits upload pack. So you can't even choose like 25 megabits upload for $100 a month or anything like that. They straight up monopolize it so much to where you're either paying $60 a month or you're paying $300 a month, and that's the difference in you having a high upload speed. So it is super monopolized where I live, and I honestly can't believe that the local government hasn't stepped into that, but it's just purely a money business around where I live. So I know that personally, if Starlink were available, it would absolutely destroy these companies and put them out of business, or at least take some of their business, like it should happen, because they should not be making money off of the people around me. I live in one of the poorest counties in the United States, and they charge ridiculous amounts for internet. And my area is so rural where the other affordable internet service, they don't offer high speeds because we have such a small population density to where they don't offer high speeds unless it's like 50,000 people or more within the county or within the city. And my city is so small, it's barely even classified as a city. It's like around 2,500 people or so. So that's just to give you some context as to why I'm a big proponent of Starlink. I think that it would do a lot of great things for the people that are negatively affected by all of these monopolizing internet companies, and I think it would really help out people like me and those that are in areas that have never even heard of just good internet access. Not only will this be providing internet access to areas across the world that have never even had the ability to get access, but it will be providing fast internet access. Like I said, it's supposed to be 1 gigabit per second. That's what they're aiming for, or something that matches the current standard. And by the way, one article was really useful for discussing all of these things in this video, and that is one that I will link it down in the description below because it has a lot of great information for those that don't really know much about this project. So it gives a lot of good information that is useful, but it basically says that the plan is to make it about $80 per month, give or take. And I'm assuming that they would adapt that for the very poor areas across the world as well. But basically, Starlink is a project by SpaceX to basically fund Mars exploration and research. So it's sort of like a side project that they're using to fund other things that they want to do with SpaceX, which is pretty cool. Not only are you paying for an internet service that is supposedly going to be very good, but it's also going to help fund SpaceX further with Mars exploration, which is something I would love to contribute to. If I had the choice of contributing to an internet company that monopolizes off the people of where I live for the same price of what I could get Starlink services for, I would much rather fund SpaceX and Elon Musk with Starlink and fund Mars exploration rather than fund a local company that takes advantage of their customers. So even if the prices are the same and the speeds are the same, I would rather switch to Starlink just because you're supporting a greater cause, at least in my opinion. But with all of that being explained, I just wanted to give you all some news on Starlink, in which I believe I mentioned this earlier, but 60 new Starlink satellites were launched today according to Elon Musk on Twitter. And then there's also the video on SpaceX online, which you can see as well. I'll link that down in the description. That shows the whole booster launch where they shoot the rocket up into the air, deploy the satellites into orbit, and then the rocket lands right back down. It's really an amazing thing to watch. I would recommend at least checking out a few minutes of it if you don't have time to watch the full thing, but it's just amazing to see what Elon Musk and SpaceX have been able to do in this short amount of time, which I find is amazing. But to just provide some more information about Starlink from this great article that I was discussing earlier, it says, how much will Starlink cost? And it says plans are not currently launched yet, but the estimation tells that the installation would be around $100 to $300 and probably somewhere around $80 a month for a subscription, which I think if you get the installation out of the way, although that's a little bit expensive, honestly, if you're getting such a great service for a reasonable price, then I do think that that is worth it. And then once again, like I said earlier, it says how fast will Starlink be? And it says the company promises about 1 gigabit per second, or about top speed provided by cable and fiber companies today. So that is absolutely excellent. That's exactly what I'm looking for in an internet company, especially in like a rural area where I live. That would be very beneficial because we don't get anywhere near like the normal top speed where most places get, like such as Austin, Texas, or Houston, Texas, or Nashville, Tennessee, or some of those big cities that have access to good internet, or things such as Google Fiber. And then if you're interested on when Starlink will be available, it says probably it will be available once 6 to 7 batches of satellites goes into orbit. So that is around by the end of 2020 or the beginning of 2021, in which you can expect services to be available in America. And to explain a little bit of how this would work, it says company CEO Elon Musk says that there will be a pizza-sized box for around $200 that anyone can purchase and get access to Starlink's broadband network. And in addition, that Starlink box will utilize something called a radio wave antenna to get that service. And according to Elon Musk, Starlink would be able to provide minor coverage after deploying 400 satellites, and then moderate coverage could be possible after deploying around 800 operational satellites. And for example, Elon Musk has also already utilized the service, in which he tweeted out a tweet while using the Starlink satellite. One of their major goals is to deploy about 12,000 satellites by the mid-2020s, and then hopefully extend that further on to about 42,000 eventually. These satellites have 4 very powerful antennas and then a solar panel array as well. They also have something called an Autonomous Collision Avoidance system, which helps them avoid crashing satellites into one another and also helps them avoid space debris as well. So as you can see, these are just some of the few of many features that Starlink satellites will have, and this project just gets me so excited because it seems like one of the few things aside from Tesla and other SpaceX projects that are happening that can sort of revolutionize an industry. The internet industry has just typically been the same for what it seems like forever now, and the latest sort of revolution that I can think of has been Google Fiber, which is basically just a higher speed internet in which they're selling plans for a reasonable price, and that has only happened across a few major cities so far. So this seems like this is something that could happen very fast and provide access to almost everyone across the world if everything comes together perfectly and they're able to implement it completely. But anyways, I just wanted to provide some news on Starlink and explain the project if you aren't familiar with it. I think it's extremely interesting. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please make sure to smash that like button, and also let me know what you think down in the comment section below. It really does help me out. And by the way, if you would like to start investing, feel free to use my referral links down in the description for Robinhood and Webull. And if you sign up with those links, and especially with Webull, if you deposit $100, you'll get 2 free stocks valued up to like $1,000, which is absolutely crazy. I've been getting some good stocks with Webull lately. So if you would like to sign up with those links, just feel free to do so. It supports the channel, and you also get some nice passive income in the meantime. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.